I'm Joy and welcome to Food Simplicity and Vitality. This is a food and lifestyle channel where we cook together and we stay well together. And for all my existing subscribers, hello. And if you are new today, I invite you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll see more videos which will be relevant to you and your well-being. Now today it's my pleasure to bring to you the national dish of Jamaica, which is ackee and saltfish. And today I'm cooking the ackee and saltfish with green boiled bananas. Now guys, green boiled bananas is full of lots and lots of health benefits. You can read up on all that it does for you, really good. Ackee and saltfish is delicious. Guys, I can't wait to show you my version of this amazing dish. So if you want to see more, keep watching. This is just a quick view of all the ingredients we are going to need to make our amazing ackee and saltfish, served with boiled green bananas. So guys, for those of you who are not that familiar with this recipe yet, I've listed all the ingredients on the screen for you to take note. But for the actual ackee, we're going to need 2 cans of ackee. I've got some boneless and skinless codfish, which is salty, hence the name a saltfish. And for all the herbs and vegetables, we've got fresh thyme, and make it fresh guys because it tastes delicious with fresh thyme. I've got the scallions or spring onions, tomatoes, white onion there. I've chopped some red bell peppers, I've got the Scotch bonnet peppers, 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to be seasoning with salt and black pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and of course the star of the show, the green bananas, which we will boil. And as a bonus, we're going to serve some plantain and some avocado with the whole thing. It's delicious. Let's jump into this. So the night before I soaked the fish. Now, as I said, this is codfish and it is salty to preserve it. So you need to just take them out of the packet. Sometimes I wash them off first, but then I essentially take them from the packet and then I pour some filtered water on them, covering them with the water and leaving them overnight. And then the next morning they are ready. I can taste them and pour some more water on if necessary. So leave that aside overnight. Now the next morning I did pour the water off and poured some more on. I tasted the codfish and realized it was to my likings. So that's how they come, and I've got the 2 packs there. Now guys, you can boil your fish if you want to, in which case it's less time, it's 10 minutes. But I find that when you boil them, they don't stay intact as much, but you can. So you would boil for 5 minutes, pour the water off, put it back on the stove and boil again for another 5 minutes until it's to your taste. But that's the quick way of doing it. I realize that we don't all have the time to do it overnight like I did. So I'll show you a little trick that I do with the fish once it's soaked and at my desired taste. I simply get a scissors and cut them into little chunks so that they can mix nicely with the ackee and saltfish and they'll be whole. Right, so now we have our cans of ackee, and they do come in a can as I've just showed you, and I pour them off, pour the water off and leave them, set them aside and leave them to drain until I'm ready to use them. So that's what they look like, and don't be mistaken for them being scrambled eggs. They do have the appearance of scrambled eggs, but they certainly not. They are in fact a fruit. They look absolutely lovely, and these are the ackee. Yes, very nice. Moving on now, I'll show you how I prepared my boiled green bananas. I simply top and tail them. I cut the tip off and then I cut the bottom stem bit off and then I score it down the side with a sharp knife. Now by scoring it, it allows for the water, once it's boiling, to penetrate the skin, which is very stainy incidentally, and it allows for the bananas to cook nicely inside. So you simply use a sharp knife and score down the side. Any side will do, guys, and then get ready to place them in a pot. And then we're going to pour some boiling water over them. No need for any salt or anything. And we're going to leave those to boil. But what I do like to do as well is to add some oil to the pot of boiling water. This allows for the pot not to be stained as much, because as I said, the skin of the banana is very, very stainy. It gets very black as it cooks. Now we're just going to go ahead and prepare the vegetables and the herbs that we're going to need for the actual cooking of the ackee and saltfish. Now I'm chopping the onions there, as you can see, and chop them quite fine as well. It just makes it nice and easy to cook through. And I'm going through, as you can see, with the spring onions, chopping those nice and fine as you can, using the whole thing, guys. Using now a couple of ripe medium-sized tomatoes. We like all the juices that produces. I've got my Scotch bonnet pepper there, which I have incidentally de-seeded so that it's not too fiery. I've left a few seeds in, but not too many, because we do want to enjoy the flavour. This is fresh thyme here, and I'm going to roughly chop these. I'm not going to chop them too much, just to add to the flavour while it's cooking. I've got the bell peppers already cut, as you saw there, and these are the garlic cloves. Chopping those into tiny little bits so that again they can cook through and mix nicely and produce all that lovely flavour. So I'm putting everything together on my chopping board, getting ready to do the next process. Now guys, just popping in now to have a look at our bananas. Now the green bananas are now cooked. You can see the skin's opened up a little bit. The best way to test, for me anyway, if they're cooked, is simply just to pierce a sharp knife through, and if it goes through nicely like that, you know they are cooked and ready. We're going to pour the water off and set them aside to cool, and when they're cooled, we'll be able to take the skin off. Now this I cooled for about 10-15 minutes, and as you can see, the skin comes off the banana really easily, and they come off, and this is what they look like, boiled green bananas. Let's go ahead now and prepare all the vegetables and the herbs for the ackee and saltfish itself. Now I've put 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in, and I'm going to start to saute the onions together first of all with the garlic, and get those really soft. When you can see that when they're softening, because they're going to be looking transparent like this, and we want to reduce them as much as we can before adding the peppers and the tomatoes and all the other herbs that we have left over. Again, saute that for about 10 minutes. You can leave the fresh thyme in it whole, because we're going to be taking that out later, but it's still adding the flavors. Now you can see my chopped up saltfish has been added to the pan, and I'm going to season them now. So I'm adding my sea salt there and my pepper, and these are peppercorns. And you can add your favorite seasonings to this as well, but I like to just keep it with the salt, the black pepper, because it's already quite flavoursome already. But I do like to add a little bit of cayenne pepper just to give it a little bit of colour and a further kick to it, like that. So you'll see that's mixed in nicely, it's reduced, all the vegetables and the herbs are mixed in nicely and it smells amazing. Now this is the time where you add the ackee. Now you can see I'm adding it really slowly and I'm actually folding it into all the spices and the vegetables there. I'm actually folding. I'm trying to keep the ackee as whole as possible. We don't want it too crumbly, and it does crumble quite easily once it's hot. So I leave that to simmer for about 10 minutes. Put a lid on it and leave it to simmer for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, preparing the plantain, which we are going to grill. Again, very similar to the boiled banana, score it down the side, discard the skin, and you've got that lovely yellow look there. And I'm going to slice my plantain like this, sort of diagonally along, and give them that nice shape. But you can go in circles if you like, whichever way you want to cut it. It doesn't make any difference. It's a lovely taste anyway. I'm now placing them on a tray with olive oil on it, and I'm going to leave them in the oven to bake for about 10 minutes. Right, time to put everything together now. So you can see I've got a plate there with avocado and a bit of salad, green salad there. I put on my 2 boiled bananas. The ackee looks amazing, ackee and saltfish combined. And I did put a little bit of olive oil on the banana to give them a little glaze, and I'm laying out the fish and putting it like that. Guys, I hope you like that. It smells delicious. Now there's another way I'm going to serve this. So the same ackee and saltfish on the plate. This time it's with avocado sliced, and I'm arranging my grilled plantains round the side of the plate, making that look really pretty there, guys. And yes, that's the other version, ackee and saltfish served with plantain. Guys, these are them together, and I hope you like them, and do let me know in the comments which of these you prefer and which ones you're likely to try. So this is taste time, guys. We're going to taste this lovely dish, and it's usually served traditionally as a breakfast, but you can have it as lunch or you can have it as dinner. There are no rules. So I'm just going to have some of that. Absolutely delicious. The Scotch bonnet in it is so subtle, but yet you can still taste that slight fiery taste. Absolutely delicious, guys. I do recommend that you try this recipe. And also, in addition, guys, let me know in the comments if you do try it, and if you have another version of this, please let me know also, and then we can share our different versions with each other. Guys, for now, have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video.